Welcome to LCJ Live. This is your premier box office news show for Sunday. If you're watching live on the East Coast at noon, West Coast at 9 a.m. Pacific, it is a close one. It is so close, we don't know who the winner is. It's $100,000 separating your top two movies this weekend, The Beekeeper and Mean Girls. I posted a prediction about a week ago that, based on the Oscar nominations, maybe American Fiction could win if it was in about 3,000 theaters and earned about $7 million. Well, about $7 million is what these two movies, Mean Girls and The Beekeeper, did, and one of them is from Amazon, which is the studio behind American Fiction. Amazon claiming victory right now, with The Beekeeper number one with 7.4 million. Mean Girls number two with 7.3. Mean Girls, of course, on top the last two weekends. But now, here comes Jason Statham, Beekeeper, which made 8.5 last weekend. Very small drop to 7.4 million. And Mean Girls with a much more significant drop from 11.7 down to 7.3. So people are interested in seeing The Beekeeper. And as I wrote the other day, as things were looking like The Beekeeper could win this weekend, Amazon is going to greenlight a sequel. They got it. Beekeeper's been beating Mean Girls during the week in a lot of cases. And now, if The Beekeeper is number one officially, which we will find out tomorrow with the actual results, then there is no question that Jason Statham is going to come back for The Beekeeper 2. Maybe they'll try to get it out in the next 2 years to keep the momentum going. The Beekeeper is up to 42.3 million. Mean Girls has made significantly more than The Beekeeper. It's up to 60.8. But here we are in a weekend with no new wide releases. Miller's Girl, a film which I watched about a week and a half ago, which is terrible, absolutely terrible. Only opened in 350 theaters. We weren't sure how wide the release from Lionsgate was going to be. Only made about $300,000. There was no new wide releases, but some expansions. Origin expanded nationwide, made $1.5 million. It's up to 2.5. And a lot of award season contenders. Unfortunately, Origin didn't get any Oscar nominations. A lot of award season contenders expanded nationwide. You look at American Fiction, which added 2.9 million. It's at 11.8. You look at Poor Things, which made 3.1 million this weekend. It's at 24.8. The thing about Poor Things, which got 11 Oscar nominations on Tuesday, which is absolutely insane, is that it is making money. It's been steady the last 5, 6, maybe even 7 weeks. It's unbelievable that it's done pretty consistently well. 2 million, now 3 million per weekend. It's at 24.8. The Favorite from Yorgos Lanthimos with Emma Stone from 5 years ago totaled 34 million for Searchlight at the time, Fox Searchlight. And now we're at 24.8. I think Poor Things makes a run at 30 million, and maybe it will come close to that 34.4 of The Favorite because of the curiosity factor. There is this interest that people have. What is this movie? What are the controversies surrounding this film? It's up for 11 Oscars, including Best Picture, Director, Actress, and Supporting Actor. I gotta go see this movie, even though it's a terrible film. It's the kind of movie that 10 years ago you would have put on Showtime at 2 in the morning. It's just really bad, really bad. But it's making money, and it's probably going to win at least an Oscar. Remember, when I watched the Oscars 5 years ago, and The Favorite, I think, got 10 nominations, and it was winning nothing. And I thought to myself as we were going into Best Actress, maybe, could the Oscars give The Favorite something? Because it doesn't make sense. Yes, we've had movies go 0-10 before. The American Hustle was one of those films. But I was like, are they really going to give The Favorite nothing? And then Olivia Colman beat Glenn Close. I think Olivia Colman beat Glenn Close for a couple of reasons. Number one, the BAFTA win. Number two, maybe Glenn Close, Lady Gaga votes split. They both tied for Critics' Choice. But also, I think younger voters. This was the beginning of younger voters having an impact on the Oscar voting and what was going to happen. Because, yes, we all knew Lady Gaga was going to win Original Song for A Star Is Born, but I don't think a lot of younger people watched The Wife with Glenn Close, and so they looked to their next choice. And as much as Melissa McCarthy was fantastic, and Can You Ever Forgive Me, she probably wasn't going to win. Yalitza Aparicio wasn't going to win. Emily Blunt should have been nominated for Mary Poppins Returns, so the choice was Olivia Colman. Emma Stone could win her second Best Actress Oscar for Yorgos Lanthimos' Poor Things, but it could go to Lily Gladstone for Killers of the Flower Moon. We still have a ways to go in the awards season, and we will see what happens. This is my pal Finn McMissile. I believe he's going to be Agent Argylle. It's a movie that I think people are looking forward to, and it's going to be a steady several weeks, week after week, of movies in the theaters. And the theaters are going to do well. I think the theaters are going to be fine. Yes, we've got people going to these award season movies. I was talking about Poor Things. I got to mention Godzilla Minus One, which added 2.6 million this weekend. It's up to 55. Everybody wanted to go see the black and white version. I know people who went to see the black and white version of Godzilla Minus One and had just as incredible of an experience watching this version as the previous version. Other movies did pretty well this weekend, all things considered, because of the small drops. You look at a movie like Wonka, which had a very small drop of just 500,000. It added 5.9 million this weekend. It's at 195. Migration dropped $100,000. Families still need something to see. 5.2 million. It's at 101.3. Let's see. Aquaman did okay. 2.8. It's at 118.1. ISS had a decent sized drop. It didn't open big last weekend, but dropped about 50%. 3 million down to 1.4. It's at 5.6 total. Shout out to a movie called Fighter. Fighter made 3.7 million this weekend. That's pretty good. It ended up in 6th place. $5.5 million total after a Thursday start. Couple $1 million each for The Boys in the Boat and Night Swim. Some award season expansions did so-so. The Holdovers added $500,000. Oppenheimer added $1 million. Barbie, maybe a couple 100,000. And then some movies that should have gotten nominations, but didn't. I mentioned Origin. Also, The Iron Claw added $1 million. Anatomy of a Fall did get some nominations, of course. There's one more I wanted to mention. All of Us Strangers. All of Us Strangers added 400,000. But yeah, Anatomy of a Fall did a couple 100,000 in an expansion. The Zone of Interest, Best Picture nominee, did very well on Tuesday. Added $1 million. It's at $3 million. And Killers of the Flower Moon added 220,000 to its total. Holdovers, I said $500,000. So, like I expected, there were going to be movies that people either haven't seen for the awards or are going to go see a second time that added a little bit of money this weekend. And the leftovers from the January and December releases were going to lead the way, but not make a ton of money. We come to something like Argylle this weekend coming up that's going to make 20 million at least. The star-studded, they just did the London premiere, packed, big time premiere from Universal. Universal hoping for big things and to get their year going after a decent finish with Migration, now crossing 100 million, making the 25th film of 2023 to cross 100 million, going to pass Trolls Band Together to get on Universal's top 5 list. Yeah, Night Swim didn't do a lot for Universal with 27 million, but I think Argylle is now going to get the studio in a positive box office direction this year. And the Monkey Man movie from Dev Patel, which they just put out the trailer for the other day, is a last-minute addition through him, Jordan Peele, and Universal to come out in theaters in April. Other films coming out in theaters from Universal in April. Abigail, of course, The Fall Guy is in May, which kicks off the summer movie season. So they're getting ready now. They're ready to go. Kung Fu Panda 4 going to be big. They're getting ready. Tiger's Apprentice is an animated film on Paramount Plus Friday. Orion in the Dark, an animated film on Netflix from DreamWorks on Friday. So some competition from those. And a film called Suncoast with Woody Harrelson, which I'm looking forward to seeing from Searchlight, goes to select theaters on Friday, goes to Hulu next Friday, February the 9th. When we are back here next Sunday for LCJ Live, we'll talk about Argylle's box office. We will also preview how Lisa Frankenstein from Focus, with written by Diablo Cody, how that will do in theaters, and we'll see how the rest of the award season is shaping up. As always, for new LCJ Q&A podcast episodes, go to lcj.podbean.com. For Too Fast, Two Films, it's toofast2films.com. Mike Sargent and I review ISS and Driving Madeline. That episode will be up soon. For more reviews and analysis, lights-camera-jackson.com. Go to Twitter at LCJ Reviews, Instagram at LightsCamJackson. Thank you for watching today's episode of LCJ Live. I appreciate it, and I will see you next time for more. Have a good week. A lot of Animation Scoop Q&As, some new LCJ Q&A podcast episodes including a new PBS animated series called Lila in the Loop. That'll be this week. Great conversation with Emmy-winning game show host Todd Newton, and more with Orion in the Dark, and some more Q&As on the way. Thanks for being here for LCJ Live. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.